Go ahead. You bring us in, and I can edit that part out.
No, because here's what happens. You always go back and listen to every one of the podcasts. In every one of them, there's a spot where you go, I can delete that out. But you never fucking delete it out. You just fucking throw the raw thing out there. The only thing that you ever edited, and I made you do it, was when I said something, I threw out a name that I shouldn't have, and I made you go back and you did the podcast edit. Alright, so the last podcast that we posted, you and I did by ourselves, and I told you I wanted to talk about motorcycles.
Mm-hmm.
But between that time and now, you had posted that podcast, and I didn't get to finish listening to it today. I got interrupted, but I listened to probably like 3/4 of it. I don't really like me on the podcast.
You think you just rambled on pretty good. You sounded great.
Here's the problem, though. You're looking at me. You can see I only say so much with my words, and I'm not really good with words. But my hands are constantly moving. My face is constantly changing. I say so much with my body that can't be heard through the podcast.
Well, that's after the first year we're going to go to video.
So I'll have to do my hair and makeup?
Every time unless you don't want to. I mean, you can look any way you want to.
I'm looking pretty damn crazy right now. No, but I think for me, my biggest thing is, I need to use my words. I need to be more vocal in what I'm trying to say, because I do say so much with my body and with my face and my hands. So I got to work on that. But I asked you to bring me back on so I could talk about motorcycles, and here we are. So let's do this.
All right, so let's talk about motorcycles. You've got two.
Yeah.
One's being a pain in the butt, but the other one you're having fun with?
Yeah, one of them is a mechanical representation of Rogue. It's a major fucking disappointment at this point in my life.
But fond memories.
Yeah. So you bought me that motorcycle for me, sight unseen, had no idea, 3 years ago?
Yes, 3 years ago.
Yeah, 3 years
It
ago.
was ugly. God, it
was so fucking ugly, and that's why I named it the Ugly Duck. It was fucking ugly. It had a partially blue tank, red side covers, these god awful handlebars, fucking creamy spray paint dripping down hard bags. It was atrocious, but it rode like a fucking dream.
Yeah, and that's the disappointing part, that I don't know, I feel like I messed something up on it or something. I don't know why it's just gone south all of a sudden. Because it's been taken care of. It's completely redone, so it's not ugly anymore.
Yeah, cosmetically it's been been redone, and it really never needed anything mechanical wise. So, it's always ran really, really well for me. I wrecked it in January.
But it was you just skin it up. You didn't wreck. I don't like to say. You wrecked it, but it's not. The bike wasn't wrecked. It was just kind of laid down and scuffed a little bit. It was just, I think we broke a mirror, and it wasn't like the frame was bent or nothing crazy.
It was nothing major, and you fixed it all for me. It was I completely busted my front headlight. I did scrape the muffler, a little bit of the tank. The clutch levers skin up, and the speedometer quit working.
You didn't realize how cherry of a speedometer you had until you went to go look for a replacement.
Oh my God, I know. I mean, the speedometer was in really, I mean, my gauges in general were in really, really good condition, and I didn't think anything else.
And for everybody that doesn't know, really good condition for a 1976.
Yes. 1976 CB360T.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, try to find a pristine condition gauge for one of those. It's not easy to find, and they're damn sure not cheap.
They're proud of them. Even the ugly ones that are just...
The ones, even the ones that are beat to hell and back, they want $200-$300 for them.
I don't know if it was that. Was it that much?
Yes.
Could've been that much.
Yes, absolutely. Beat to hell and back. I'm like, even the one that I have now that it's smushed on one side and it does not work at all. I have no idea how fast I'm going.
Let's use your GPS. Get your look.
Fuck that GPS. I can and you've said it before. I stay around the speed limit. I grew to know that bike well enough that I know my speed on that bike, even without a speedometer.
Yeah. So
that was never a problem. But anyways, so I wrecked it in January. I, fucked it up. You came to my rescue. You picked it up off the side of the road. You recovered it and fixed it back up for me. And it was riding, April or May? It took April or May before we got it all back and ready.
When was the wreck? In
January.
Okay.
And not that it necessarily took you that long, but, we did things in bits and pieces for smart financial reasons or whatever. And then, we stayed busy, the two of us. So, April or May, it's up and riding. June, my trip. It was riding like a fucking dream, like nothing ever happened. I trailered that motherfucker. Rode 15 hours in the rain.
On the trailer?
Yeah, the bike was on the trailer. Get it there, and it's like, fuck you. I'm not gonna... It wouldn't work. And we haven't been able to figure it out since then.
Oh, did you see that Common Motor Collective's developing a new electronic ignition for your bike? They posted a video that it's almost ready.
Really? Well, I would like to take this moment now to say how good Common Motor has been for us with us having an older bike.
Yeah.
They do the questions and answers, and you've submitted questions, and they've
they fucked my name up. It was funny, though.
They did?
Yeah.
What did they call you?
I don't know if the guy was... Well, the problem is when... I'm not going to say the tagline, but that one tagline I use for certain emails.
Oh, yeah.
And that's what it came under. And he was like... He called it some crazy-ass thing. It didn't make any sense. I just busted out laughing when I saw the video.
To be fair... If you don't know
what it means,
it does look pretty odd.
Yeah, it's great.
So, anyways, as much as I was disappointed in my bike not working once I got up to Virginia, I still had a really good time. Saw some faces that, people that I had met and had made contact with throughout the past year that I met.
What's that trip called? I'm sorry.
It's called No Man's Land. And I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, go fuck yourself. There will be no childish jokes.
I want everybody else to listen. What was the name of that event again?
No Man's Land. It is an all-female weekend moto camping trip. It's all women. We ride our bikes. We camp out.
Do you think whoever named it was a fan of porn?
I can't. What the fuck do you want me to say? Will you leave my girls' trip alone?
I think it's wonderful. But that name just makes me laugh. I think it's a great name. What a perfect name. But But the first time I heard
Look,
it,
I already know which direction I'm taking this conversation, and I know that childish fucking laughter is going to come up again. Let me get there.
okay.
So, got up there, had a great time. And for me, personally, I've been around a couple of years now, and there just has not been a community of female writers here in Birmingham, which is disappointing because I look all around me, and there's, a shit ton of lady writers in Florida and Atlanta, Nashville, Chattanooga. I mean, it's all around me. And I'm like, come on, Birmingham, give me some women writers. And so this year, when I went up there, went with a friend, Tiffany, who also rides. She has a Harley Davidson 883. And we sat around Saturday night with a bunch of other women, and we talked about, the great thing about No Man's Land is it's a southeastern event. Okay, it's not set in one location year after year. It moves around all over the place. And year before last, it was in Georgia, and then this year it was in or I guess last year it was in Georgia, and then this year it was in West Virginia. I think next year they're planning on North Carolina, and then the year after that they're planning on Alabama or Tennessee.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah. But you've got so many groups of women throughout the Southeast that come to this event. Mm-hmm. And a large portion of the women that show up do belong to the Litas. Okay, the Litas are, I think they were founded in like 2012 or 2015. They are not that old, but they are worldwide. They have branches of Litas all over the world.
Why are they so popular?
I don't know.
Just because the name's kind of cool. I'm not saying the girls aren't cool. Let me specify that before I get hate mail. I'm just saying the name's pretty cool. It sounds pretty cool. It's easy to say.
It does. Yeah. I will address that in a minute. Well, knowing me, I'll fucking ramble. 15 minutes. I'll address that in 15 minutes. No, so Tiffany and I had talked on the way up there about, starting our own group, and do we want to go with the Litas, or do we want to start our own independent group, or, what do we want to do? And so Saturday night, we sat around the campfire, we fucking drank whiskey straight out of the bottle, and
Woo! That's my kind of girls right there.
We just grilled these girls, like, okay, you're a part of this group that is, y'all are specific to this one location. What do you think's so great about it? What do you think's not so great about it? Okay, well, you're a part of the Litas. What do you think? And we really got a feel, for the different, versus, a small group versus a worldwide group. And, again, going back to being surrounded by a community of women writers, but not having any here in Birmingham, you've got Litas all over the world, but you've got Litas in Nashville. Now there's Litas in Atlanta. There's Litas Richmond. There's Litas all over. And there was not, at the time, that all this went down, there was not a Birmingham Litas group. But there are two specific groups, one out of Atlanta, Georgia, called the Ladyfingers. There's that stupid laughter, that fucking childish laughter. So Ladyfingers out of Atlanta, and then Vega
What are
Broads.
their colors?
Sit down. And then there's the Vega Broads out of Chattanooga. There's another small group out of Chattanooga, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, so Tiffany and I went on that trip, and we talked about it the whole way back. And so then there's another girl, Virginia. And so the three of us, me, Tiffany, and Virginia, we sat down, we had lunch, we had drinks, and we regurgitated all of that information that we obtained from all those women back to Virginia. And then the three of us sat there and we evaluated it and we thought about, you know, do we want to do our own independent group or do we want to join Alita's? Okay? Because, I mean, if you create your own group, that's your group. You make the fucking rules. Okay? If you want to start a Lita's branch, all you need is 3 women. That's all it takes. And honestly, we couldn't decide. You know, the Litas, and here's the answer to your question. For us, the appeal that starting a Lita's branch had was that it was easy. All you need is 3 women. All you need is 3 women, and you send in, you know, an email and you go, hey, we got 3 women and we want to start a branch here in our town. That's all it takes.
So how do they govern themselves if they're a group? Or do you not, you just don't know?
Well, and see, okay, so for me, and, you know, I'm not going to speak for Virginia or Tiffany, but I felt like they were on the same page. That was kind of a concern because for us, in the sense of, you know, they have basic rules. You know, you have to have a bike of this cc, this cc or whatever. You have to be a woman, but if you want to join the league, like, okay, so there is now an established Birmingham Litas that we did not start.
Right.
Somebody else started. Okay, very recently, within the last few weeks, Birmingham has gotten itself a Lita's branch.
Okay.
Okay. All you have to do to become a Lita is send your little email. Go, hey, I'm a lady rider. I want to ride, and that's it. But to jump back to that lunch with Tiffany and Virginia, we really couldn't decide then on that day if we wanted to start our own group or if we wanted to you know, partake in the name brand, the Litas, and you know, to bring that here to Birmingham. So we ended up settling on doing a social aspect. So we started Birmingham Moto Babes, and it wasn't a group, it wasn't an MC or an RC, it was just a social page for to bring in women of you know, the Birmingham area that, you know, rode motorcycles or that were potentially interested in riding motorcycles. It was, you know, just a social place for women to meet up or to build that female rider community.
Yeah, just meet people.
Yeah. And so, you know, we kind of thought, well, as far as starting a group, we'll put that on the back burner.
Right.
And, you know, which the Birmingham Moto Babes Facebook page is fairly new. We just had our 3rd meetup. And I think like the week before we did our meetup, our 3rd meetup, we discovered that there was a Lita's group. And so it was kind of bittersweet for me, you know, because
You were interested, but
yeah, you know, and part of me, I like to run shit and control things, but the other part of me was like, well, you know, I mean,
sometimes it just makes it easier if somebody does it.
right. And that takes the pressure off me or Tiffany or Virginia, you know, because they live very busy lives too. But that still, I mean, we can still do our own group if that's something that we decide to do.
So I still think that my name
that came up at our last little meet and greet. So our last little.
Well, if anybody didn't know, I came up with them. I came up with a little girls group name. I'm not going to say it, just I don't want anybody to steal it from them. But
it's already gone. It's not a motorcycle group.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
That thing.
You originally come up with Steel City Kitties.
I just think that's fucking
And
hilarious.
that is a Pittsburgh cat rescue.
Fuck those guys.
Well,
No.
then you come up with Magic City Kitties.
Magic City Kitties.
And that is a Birmingham cat rescue.
Oh, those bastards. I don't even like cats. Well, those kind of cats, but
Hey.
easy.
Easy.
But I still think Steel City Kitties sounded funny.
I liked your logo idea. You know, when you said the name, I was like, you fucking pervert. But when you're like, no, I got this idea for this logo, and you really sold it to me there.
I can't even remember what was the logo. I can't even remember. That's
The
sad.
wild, crazy little kitty you described. I'm shit at descriptions, but the wild, crazy little kitty on the motorcycle,
Yeah.
the crazy kitty hair,
Yeah.
you made it sound really cool.
I can bullshit sometimes.
Oh, you're a great bullshitter.
Yeah, damn. I still think it would have been a good name.
Yeah, we actually laughed at that.
Well, the girls
the,
think. I know they think it's ridiculous, but I still think it would.
I think the only person I told was Tiffany. And
She knows I'm ridiculous.
yes, she does. God bless her. She puts up with your shit.
Yeah.
No, and we laughed about that on the way home from Virginia in the truck. And it never come up again, but then, we had our little get-together on, October 14th, for Birmingham Moto Babes.
Yeah.
And that name came up and we laughed about it again. But, so it ended up, our little last meeting, Virginia couldn't make it, and it ended up being just me and Tiffany and this other girl named Erin.
Mm-hmm.
And Erin had, been to our previous get-together. So Erin was there, and we were talking about the Litas and how they just started up, and Erin's like, yeah, I joined the Litas. I'm like, oh, you did? She's like, yeah. Just like we had already been told. She's sending her little fucking email, and they're like, great, you're part of our group chat. She's not met any of them. They
Holy
haven't done
fuck.
any events.
So they just
she
wanted
doesn't
the
even
cool-
know. She doesn't even know who she's dealing with. And that was, for, again, I can't speak for Virginia or Tiffany, but for me that was a big thing. Like, you don't even know these people. You don't get a chance to meet them. By the rules of Litas that are not your rules, all you have to do is send in a fucking email and you're a part of this group. They don't get to evaluate you. They don't get to meet you. They don't.
You might be batshit crazy.
You might be. And there's nothing, they can't be like, oh, well, we don't like you. We vote you out.
Sounds like you want to be a part of a hardcore group.
I don't know. No. But
Carrying chain wallets and whipping people. Going to senior booze in prison.
I do like to whip people.
Easy. Oh.
Hey, speaking of, what did you just do?
I'm sorry.
Chris is messing up stuff.
Okay.
Don't
we're good.
worry, I'll whip his ass later.
Oh, please.
No, so I know last couple times you've had me on here, it's been all about Halloween because it's my favorite
Holiday.
Yes, it's my favorite Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. It's my favorite holiday. Couple weeks ago, our little buddy Dave sent me this link to an article. And it was about this place called McCamey Manor. And so I'm reading it, and I'm like, I don't really care for people touching me. And the more I read about it, so hold on, let me back up. McCamey Manor was a quote unquote haunted house that started somewhere out in California, and they have since they first come out. Now they've got one out in Arizona, I think New York, and one in Huntsville, Alabama.
Okay.
Okay.
That pretty much covers a square area.
Yeah. And their thing is, it's absolutely free to get in. You just have to bring a couple of cans of dog food, and they use that dog food as your payment. They donate it to local shelters. Okay. Sounds pretty good.
Sounds like a great deal.
I'm on board with that. I love haunted houses. I love dogs.
Yeah.
So
shit, that'll work out.
Right? Yeah, fuck that place. Okay.
Is it dirty?
So their deal is they allow the actors to touch you. The actors can basically drag you through different scenarios. And when I say scenarios, I mean they can drag you through rivers or through a yard, or
like they can physically
fuck with you.
See, I'd end up in a fight.
They can smear shit on you. They can make you eat stuff.
Never.
And so I read this
Working on some
article.
boxing.
And that's the thing. You can't
spinning back kicks, but damn.
You can't fuck with them. So, I read the article that Dave sent me. I was like, no, fuck them. I'm not in it. Because for me, the big thing was they can bury you alive. They can put you in basically a closed casket with snakes or bugs.
Ooh, bugs would never work for you.
Fuck no. I would either die of a heart attack or I would fucking Looney Tunes my ass out that casket. There'd be a fucking hole my size, my shape. So no. So, and I texted him. I was like, fuck that. And he goes, oh, that's nothing. Check this out. He goes, skip to the 45-minute mark. Okay, so he sends me this link to this YouTube video.
Of this place?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and it was like 2 hours long.
Oh, shit.
So, I'm in the bathroom. I'm getting ready. I'm doing my makeup. I'm, doing this, doing that. I'm multitasking. But I skipped to the 45-minute mark. Chris, the shit that they do. Okay? So this was an off-season tour that they gave to, I think, like 3 people. It was supposed to be 5, and 2 of them dropped out the last second. So it's off-season, so they don't have all of their normal goodie bag shit that they would normally have, so they're having to...
A little improvise?
Yeah. So they start out, and it even said in the article, now you have to have not only the cost of getting in is not just a couple of cans of dog food. You have to have a physician's letter saying that you were of sound mind.
Holy fuck. To make sure you don't lose your shit and go nuts. PTSD.
You have to take an on-site drug test.
Damn.
Yeah. And there's like a 10-page waiver that you have to sign. Okay?
Basically saying...
Now you're in this. This is not fucking Aatrox. This is not... You ate your little fucking turn and you go in, you're in and out in 45 minutes. This lasts up to 8 hours or longer. Okay?
I guess they don't have a lot of people going through it.
No. And it's not a profit deal.
So you're basically telling me some weird group of sick fuckers who like to basically just shy of raping people got together and said, hey, we can get some volunteers because there's some weird people out there that like to get scared.
Pretty much.
Because why in the hell would you do that if it's a non-profit thing? I mean, you know what I'm saying? Even as an actor.
Yeah, I mean, you're volunteering your time.
Yeah. So you have to be a little bit fucked up.
A little bit.
You got to be that guy that has that...
I would totally do it.
Have that...
But I mean, if you've listened to anything, I think by now we've all established I'm a little bit fucked up. But yeah. I would have no problem being a volunteer.
Well, yeah, you get to do all the touching.
Yeah. But, okay, that sounded dirty. I don't know.
I'm not even saying dirty, just touching.
It's not like a sexual touching. It's just, okay, so the documentary that I was watching was on a girl named Beth. And first of all, they're out in this middle of this fucking field, and they set them down in this little creek of water, and I would say it was like a little stream or whatever, and they kept calling it sewage. So I don't know if it really was sewage or not.
Probably.
Sewage can't be open though, right?
No, probably not. Not unless it was like a...
I don't know. But they kept like scooping shit out of the bottom of it, we'll say it's mud, and smearing it on their heads and their faces while they're trying, and they're like, read... You know, they've got the waiver. They're like, read the waiver out loud. Read it out loud. Now you need to sign this page. And they're sitting there trying to read it, and they're trying to sign it, and they've got the volunteers. They're grabbing them and jerking them around by the head and snatching them back. And
that doesn't sound... It sounds like you're in... If you go there, you're kind of into some weird shit.
BDSM?
Yeah, like you're, not the dominant, but the submissive. There's...
Well, so I'll cut to the bullshit. Okay, so there were supposed to be 5 of them. 2 of them dropped out before it even started. The guy dropped out really fucking quick. So it ended up being just the 2 girls. Okay? During this time, I think it was Beth and Christina were their names. They made Christina, which I say made. They told her to eat it. She fucking ate it. Okay, what's that shit called? Rocky Mountain oysters, like a
Bull's
bull.
balls.
Yeah,
Bull's
balls. Yeah,
Bull's balls.
I don't know really what that looks like, but
They look kind of white and milky.
no, I don't know what the fuck this was. It looked like a perfectly spherical. I'm gonna say egg because it's really smooth and shiny, but it was black. It was so fucking nasty looking. And they made her...
They are a delicacy, aren't they?
I don't know.
Bull's ball. Everything's a delicacy. The weirder it is.
Well, that's a different subject. Anyways, so... And I say made. They made her... They didn't. And that was the big thing. They told her, you can ask to be let out at any time. But anyway, so they give it to her. They're like, eat it. She fucking eats it. And they're like, don't throw it up. Don't throw it up. Don't throw it up. She starts to gag. They tell the other girl, put your fucking hands out. When the other girl threw up, they made the other girl catch it.
Oh.
And they're like, smeared on your face. So now she's smearing this other girl's throw up on her face. This is the kind of shit that this place does. I would never, and I don't know how they... Okay, they had one in Sacramento, California. I know they've got one in Arizona. They've got one in Huntsville, Alabama. I think they had one in New York also.
I'm gonna look it up.
Who's doing this?
Well,
Who is keeping them in business?
But if it takes that many hours, I mean, that's what you can't do anybody in there playing on Netflix. Dark Tourist, episode 8, Haunted. The Art of the Scare. Let's see. Let's do the requirements.
Yeah, look at the requirements.
Alright, let's see. For your safety, you must meet the basic requirements. Let's see. 21 and above. 18 to 20 with parents. Complete sports, physical, and doctor's letter stating you are physically and mentally cleared. Pass background check provided by MM. Be screened via...
MM is McCamey Manor.
So you got to be screened by Facebook FaceTime phone.
Oh yeah, they do interviews. Like face-to-face interviews before they allow you to come in.
Let's see. Proof of... Well, it's hard to read on their webpage. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can... They got a weird picture behind the thing. Be screened via Proof of medical insurance. Sign. I can't read. Oh shit!
I can't
Detail.
help
It's
you.
a detailed 40-page something. And pass portable drug screen day of the show. Well, I guess they got movies. They got like 11 movies, and they got They got 9 YouTube movies parts. Maybe that's how they're making their money between that and franchise. I mean, people buy a lot of T-shirts. By the way, we need to work on some T-shirts for this thing so that we can sell them to all these fine people that are listening. Or at least beer koozies or something. Or some sick coffee mugs. How about that? Nah.
No.
Bastards. Drink coffee. I don't drink coffee. I can't say that.
Yeah, you don't.
Oh, I'm throwing it out there. We'll figure it out. But anyway, McKamey Manor. I am of the opinion that if you go to this, or as a I guess a customer, I don't know what you would call yourself if you're not paying for it, but if you go there to enjoy this, or you go there as participating, or you're one of the fuckers touching everybody and dragging them, I think on both sides you're fucked up. Something's going on. There's some things.
Well, I've already told you I'd be a volunteer.
Well, like I said, there's some things that need to be discussed.
Is that why you married me? You like damaged goods?
God damn. I don't even know how to respond to that.
It's alright.
That's pretty funny. Damaged goods. Always working on something.
Yeah.
Maybe that makes
Mr.
sense.
Fixer.
Maybe that makes sense. I'm just accustomed.
There's a lot I could say there, but I'll keep my mouth shut.
So you're going to go try to be a part of this?
Fuck no.
I'm talking about as far as helping.
No.
So you can be dragging guys, get that weird
No,
ring.
I'm not
So
driving
if
all the way
anything
if I'm
happens
supposed to do
funny
that
to me, everybody will know that it was you. The weirder it is, guys, the more chance.
Well, shit, I'm not the one that comes up out of the bed swinging. Although I've been known to choke you in my sleep a few times.
Oh, you did the elevated double karate kick about 15 times to the back. That was kind of actually impressive for coming up out of bed.
I get pretty violent when I sleep.
Coming out of bed like this. You look kind of like one of those cheesy kung fu movies, you know, with flying on wire. That's what you
Let's
look
talk
like.
about some cheesy kung fu movies, motherfucker. Let's talk about that.
All right, what do you got? What movies you like?
That's not what movies I like.
You said we're going to talk about cheesy kung fu movies. Have you seen?
Let's talk about your
the
freakishly strong fingers. I hate your goddamn fingers.
my pokers?
They are. They're awful. And you know that I hate them. And you jab the shit out of me with them.
Well,
Why are your fingers so strong, Chris?
would you like to know?
Yeah.
As a child.
Yeah, let's hear the story.
So when I was about in the 4th grade in the Birmingham area, metropolitan area, there was a channel called Channel 21 WTTO. And on Sundays, they would have Kung Fu Theater. And I loved Kung Fu Theater. It was probably because I was high most of the time from all the airplane glue from putting my malls together and not having enough sense to raise the window. But that's probably what started it. But I loved Kung Fu Theater. And I found it amazing. And there's this one episode, and I would love to find it so I could watch it again to see if it...
You have mentioned this over the years.
Stood up to the test of time.
Yeah.
But it was cheesy as fuck. And they would take their fingers and they would poke it into people's chest and like puncture like a knife. Mm-hmm. You know, they go about 2 knuckles deep, sort of like on the second day. And
the whole cheesy hi-ya!
Yeah, it was more
sound effects. Yeah, they have sound effects.
Yeah, just you know.
Okay.
And they take their finger, pop, and they like puncture a guy's heart. And as we've all learned, if you're over the age of 15, you should know that your fucking chest cavity is pretty damn tough. You know what I'm saying? But for what are you in the 4th grade? 8, 10?
10.
Okay. So for somewhere between an 8 and 10-year-old, that was some impressive shit. So, in the shows, they'd show them making their fingers strong. They'd take them boards and they'd poke the shit out of those boards, and it'd be like with the tip of their fingers.
They weren't breaking the boards.
No, they were just tapping the boards,
just training their fingers to be strong.
Right. So that was their like hitting a punching bag, but with your fingertips. And so of course, in the 4th grade,
this conversation alone makes my fucking fingers hurt. I'm just gonna.
So in the 4th grade, I would get
fingertips.
Our backyard. We had this porch. It was really, really high. It was kind of crazy looking out, thinking back. But anyway, I go out there and the post that holds it up, the 4x4, 6x6, whatever it is. I go out there and I'd poke that thing relentlessly. And I'd poke it I'd do my first finger, my bird finger, and then the third finger. Only those 3 fingers. I never mess with my thumb. I never mess with my pinky. But I'd, just sit there and poke that. I just poke it relentlessly. So now I have this extremely weird, I can poke something or somebody, and it actually hurts.
Fucking kills. It makes me so... I can be in the best mood, and you come up and you poke me with that finger, I'm ready to kick your fucking ass. I hate being poked. And your fingers, they're like goddamn little daggers. They're ridiculous. Your fingers, you can... This is going to sound really dirty, but you can finger somebody, and it's like being fucking elbowed. Your fingers...
Did you hear that,
ridiculous.
Ladies?
Shut up.
I can finger somebody and it's just like elbow.
Nobody wants to be elbowed in the vagine.
I think there's some weird videos out there, stuff like that.
I'm sure I just haven't happened upon them yet, thank God. Every once in a while I find myself on some weird shit. I back out as soon as I can.
After about 3 minutes or 5 minutes.
Yeah. I gotta watch it just long enough to see what the fuck's going on and be like, yeah, that's uncomfortable. Gotta go.
That's how you get into that shit. You sit here and watch it too long.
Can't deal.
It's funny. Everybody knows the windows open. They keep hearing cars go by.
Well, it is a beautiful fall night. We got dogs barking, cars rolling by. The AC's off, the power bill's going down. I fucking like it.
There you go.
I can hang with this.
I like it too. So, we figured out that you get some weird women motorcycling going on in Birmingham. We figured out that you're into some weird stuff that we need to have a sit-down council about as far as it comes to yanking on people. Dragging them through mud, choking them, hitting them with objects.
I'm a violent person.
So we're going to sit down and get some counseling. And so, what else have we talked about? My pokey fingers.
I hate your pokey fingers. Your pokey fingers are stupid.
Damn it, don't tell everybody you hate my pokey fingers.
I do. They're so hard.
There's some girls that would trade you for some hard pokey
I'm sure
fingers.
there are, but God, if you would poke them somewhere other than my fucking ribs or my spine, I might be okay with it.
I was going to say something. I was going to fucking up. I was going somewhere and I paused.
I know. We're done. We're fucking done. It's over.
All right. Too much. We'll talk to everybody on Sunday.